You're listening to Fairfield County Talk Radio, produced by Shark Creative and made possible by our title sponsor, Tough Lawn Service and Fairfield County Tick Control, as well as MDM Sanitation, Professional Water Systems, Apollo X Pest Control, and Rock Landscaping Services. You're listening to another edition of the Sports Report, where we cover exceptional local sports and stories. And today, it's all about the Wilton Little League, which is a totally volunteer-run local charitable organization that's been in operation for over 75 years. The league has delivered great baseball fun, development, and memories to thousands of Wilton families. And today, our special guest, is Dave Drew, who's the Wilton Little League president, who's also helped with all those wonderful memories over the years. He's currently the trust officer at Midland Trust Company, a graduate of Colgate University and St. John's University School of Law. Dave, it's a pleasure to have you. Welcome to Fairfield County Talk Radio, and a special edition today. My
Thanks,
pleasure.
Andrew. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you got it. So Dave, let's get right into it. We're talking about Wilton Little League, and of course it's close to both of us. Tell us how did you get involved in the league and why? What was the reason for that?
Sure. Well, one of the things you learn when you have kids in this town and they start doing activities and start doing sports and start doing, dance or what other activities there are, is that most of these organizations are really entirely volunteer run, whether it's baseball or football or soccer or cheerleading, whatever it is, it's all run by volunteers. So I really felt that it was appropriate and my wife did too, to volunteer and put in some time and some energy into whatever organizations our kids were doing. And, my older son started playing baseball. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go out and I'll coach and I'll volunteer to do other things like being a league director, just to help out, right? Because they need hands. Everybody needs people. Everybody needs hands to help out. And while I got involved doing that, I was really impressed by the organization, by the people who were running it, guys like Mario Ferrante and Dave Johnson, who I became friends with, and started doing other things with the league. But really what impressed me about the way the league was run was the entire focus on development and the kids' happiness. The league, there are opportunities in Wilton Little League to play at a high level and to play in districts and play for championships. But the core of the league and the heart of the league is about everybody gets to play, everybody gets a chance, and develop the kids that you have on your team. And that was really the focus of the league from the top on down. I really enjoyed that, and so I got more involved and ultimately took over the role as president a few years ago.
Yeah, which, thank you for doing that, because, a lot of people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes, right? And, yourself and obviously people like Marty Avalon, the secretary, and Steve Manners, the comptroller, Chris Kelly, the vice president of baseball, George Krafik, field maintenance. These things are happening all the time. And, it does take a community of folks to make it happen. Not that people are looking for credit or anything. That's not what this is about. It's just, there are people though that are putting in the time, and you being the president, my hat's off to you for doing that. It does take special people to put in those roles and all the times people aren't thinking about that you're getting preparing for a meeting or doing whatever. So thank you for that from all of us. But let's talk about the league itself, right? So there's a few things that are going on over in Wilton, and first of all. I mean, I'm proud to say I know that we've had some success in the last few years, thanks to you and all the coaches and everybody. The 11-year-olds, the 12-year-old district champions, the 10Us did very well. And even our 9Us had a small tournament that we won. So there's something in the air, something's happening, and good stuff. You want to expand a little bit on the league and some of those opportunities that have happened?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that makes Little League really special is the opportunity for postseason play. So you put together these kind of all-star teams at the end of the year. It's all made up of all of the kids who are playing in our house Little League with everyone in the town that wants to play baseball. And they get a chance to play in the summer, play other towns. And ultimately, even to Williamsport for the Little League World Series. So our 12s this year had a fantastic run. Coach Tuhill, Coach Meyer, Coach Braid, Coach Dustin. The four of them started working with these kids years ago when the kids were, 8 and 9 years old, and developed them to the point where, as 12-year-olds, they finished one game shy of winning a state championship, which is further than any other team from Wilton has gone in 75 years. And at the same time, our 11-year-old group with Coach Brisano, Coach Phillip, and Coach Kaliski also went on to win districts and go on and play for the title of the sectionals, which was a phenomenal achievement given some of the injuries and player availability issues that they had. In the 10s, they also made the district playoffs. They finished just shy of making it to the final game in a heartbreaker against Darien, a really good Darien team. And the Nines won their summer championship. They're not playing districts yet, but they won that championship as well. So you're trying to develop these players to be able to compete in these kinds of games, but at the same time, you're trying to let all the kids get opportunities and let all the kids have fun.
No doubt. And that takes place, during the year in the rec league, and how much fun. I mean, we've been talking about this a few different times. There's really no better place to be than the Wilton Little League fields on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night or a Saturday morning. I mean, it's just, even through COVID, which has made it a little bit more difficult, when you look around and you see the parents, that are there to support the kids and on both teams for that matter, it's so heartwarming. And there's really, again, so many wonderful people that come together to make it happen. While we're talking about the field itself, Dave, would you tell our audience a little bit about what happened? I know back in September, I think it was Hurricane Ida that put a little destruction on the field. And, we talking about the districts and some of these games that are played, but I understand we can't necessarily have those district games in Wilton, the finals for that matter, because of certain regulations with the backstop. Could you expand upon that and talk a little bit about the Fix the Field fundraiser, which I know is one of the main reasons why we came here today, to kind of get the word out about this and what the benefits would really be for our Wilton community?
So first of all, Wilton League's a little bit unusual for the relative to other town sports. First of all, because we have our own fields. We use the town fields for the kindergarten through the second graders, but for third through seventh grade, it's our fields. So we're responsible for maintaining them and keeping them up and for prepping them for games and that sort of thing. So it's a little bit of an unusual situation, and a large part of our budget goes just keeping those fields operational. So there was an incident, as you mentioned, that the hurricane came and it damaged a lot of the fencing that exists on our majors field. So we were going to have to fix that fence. What we would like to do is take the opportunity of saying, hey, look, we're going to have to spend this money to fix the fence, but rather than put it exactly the way it was, we're going to make an improvement. And that improvement would be to alter the backstop and the fencing around home plate so that rather than having there be part of the backstop hanging over home plate, and because it hangs over home plate, any ball that's hit a pop-up that's straight up is going to hit the backstop rather than being playable. Okay, that's not a regulation field. The reason that was put in years ago was to keep balls from going into the Norwalk River, which is right behind the fields there. So they put that in there and said, look, we're going to save some money on balls. So we're going to lose fewer. But technological advances with fencing and screening around that have given us a good opportunity to change the way that's done while making the field a regulation field so that we're able to host some of these championship games and it really be a regulation field. So the kids, even during the house season, they'd be able to okay, there's a pop-up, we can have it playable.
I don't think most people don't realize, right, that the backstop the way it is. I mean, it's sort of just grandfathered in and it's there and we're playing games with that sort of getting in the way. But to have it 40 feet up straight, this way the ball doesn't hit the top, would then allow us, if I'm hearing you correctly, to potentially host these district tournaments.
Yes, which we'd love to do. It'd be great. The fields at the Y are some of the crown jewels of Connecticut baseball. They've been fantastic fields for us. It's a privilege to play on them. We're very happy there. And making this change would allow us to have more teams come in and have host some higher level tournaments.
And so what's the league doing now to try to help fundraise for this effort? What has to be done in order for this to take place?
So we're in the midst of a fundraiser. We've raised some funds so far in order to put in the alternate screening, put in the new backstop in order to make the field regulation. What we're asking is for people to take a look at our fundraiser. People can help out by going to our website. You'll have information on there, as well as a link where you'll be able to donate funds directly to Wilton Little League for this Fix the Field fundraiser.
And that's wiltonlittleleague.org, which is chock full of all kinds of ways to learn about the league and also to see our sponsors, which, by the way, we have sponsorships on a regular basis, year in and year out. And we would love to, first of all, thank you to Wilton Kiwanis, Temple Lodge number 65, the Wilton YMCA, Land Rover of New Rochelle, Cannondale Generators, the Village Market is with us, Purple Frog Graphics, and Melissa and Doug, by the way. I know that they've put up a special sponsorship for the Warrior program that takes place in the spring and also potentially in the fall on Saturday morning. So special thanks for them. But above and beyond the sponsorship, there are a few opportunities that, as I can see here behind me, for some special recognition for a sponsor who wants to help us with this particular backstop. Is that right?
That's correct. There are certain levels of donation that you get special. There's special opportunities for that, for special recognition. So if you're interested if anybody out there is interested in those kinds of donations, I'm happy to talk to you and explain exactly what's happening. It's a great project. It's really going to improve the fields. It's really going to help the kids and their enjoyment of those fields. We have over 200 kids that are going to be playing there through the Warrior program or through our regular house program. And it's a great opportunity to provide an opportunity for those kids to have a lot more fun out there.
No doubt about it, Dave. And, this has been great to just put this together. And, already there has been some, real progress, as I can see from the community. I mean, there has been, the fundraiser started a little while ago. And I know that there's been a great response to that. So thanks to all the parents that have helped. Maybe a couple of those corporate sponsors will come in and help us get over the top, but we're getting there. And, you have to have something in your vision, right? So I think we all collectively can see that this is going to happen, right? We can picture it. We can picture the backstop. We can picture maybe the scoreboard. And it's just going to make for just, much better baseball for the kids in our community. Dave, I want to thank you again for taking the time with us here on Fairfield County Talk Radio, and all the great things that you and the board do for the league, selflessly, that is. And hats off to you for sure. This particular hat, by the way, this hat.
Thanks, Andrew.
So
I can't wait.
I'm a little biased here today with the whole Wilton thing, but that's the way it should be. There's no problem with that in this forum.
It's hard to think about baseball when it's 10 degrees outside, but there is nothing like a spring day with a snack bar open and little kids running around and, 4 teams playing out there and on a beautiful Wilton spring night. It's one of the best places in town. You see a lot of kids, little kids have friends there. My youngest learned how to play baseball at those fields, watching his older brother's little league games. He'd just run around with his friends, throw a ball around, and that's how he learned to play baseball. And he's had a great time since. So we're looking forward to making those fields even better.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that, right? The smell of baseball in the air, and hearing the kids having a good time and laughing and enjoying and really just making memories together. And we'll try to make those memories as good and everlasting as possible. And there's been some really good ones, especially the last few years. Winning is nice. It does help. And I know people will remember those games. But it's the overall experience. So Dave Drew, Wilton Little League president, thank you very much. Again, you've been listening to Fairfield County Talk Radio, which is produced by Shark Creative and made possible by Tough Lawn Control and Fairfield County Pest Control. Thank you so much. We'll be back for more Sports Report, and keep your eyes open for the Wilton Little League fields and check out the improvements that are coming.
All right. Thanks a lot, Andrew.
There it is.